Hello and welcome, I'm Malrat28 and you're watching episode 7 of my playthrough of my SHADOWCRAFT pack. Today I'm actually going to be taking a look at the proper ore processing chain using the current, well, close to current version of Resonant Induction. Full-on chain using the piston, the grinding wheels, the mixer, the firebox, and the casting mold. Before we do that though, I've worked a little bit on my magic stuff. I have been using the heck out of this little miner dig spell I have. It'll mine a single block, and funny enough, it's actually been kind of useful for harvesting some stuff that I can't reach, so it's not a total waste. But what I'm going to do though is I'm going to go ahead and make a spell for damage. This one's a really simple one, and it's a projectile spell that does physical and fire damage, and it's got a rather short list of materials needed. I do have more, where do we go? I do have more stuff unlocked in here than I have actually played with yet. But I've been concentrating more on the utility stuff so far. So like I have light, which I do want to make, though I need to go to the nether first because it requires sunstone, which I believe is only in the nether. The wizard's autumn, which is basically it'll punch leaves, and binding, which I just picked up. I really can't do anything with this yet, though I will be definitely looking forward to playing with some. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put down the projectile book on the lectern right there. And if I throw a blank rune in, that should get the process started. So I need a Vintium Dust, an arrow, a snowball, one of these red runes. See if this will take a damage sword. No. Okay, so I need a brand new sword. I was hoping I could be cheap. Alright, so we got a brand new sword now. Okay, another red rune. Flint and steel, more Vintium, and here we go. Very nice. Let's go ahead and see what this popped up with. I think that popped up with staves. Wow, there's just a lot of stuff in here. Oh, I know what I can do. I can check out the components. Does not have it in here. Okay. Modifiers? No. Talents? No. Does this actually explain binding anywhere? Alright. Anyway, so let's go ahead and right-click on the projectile spell we just made. I just called it Molten Pebble since it's physical damage and fire, and it's not particularly damaging, so it feels like it's a good name. So just to choose an icon, I know there's one in here that looks pretty good for like a little tiny. This one's kind of green, it's kind of purple. Don't need an animal paw or anything. So let's go with this one. Alright, and just escape out, and we have Molten Pebble. Takes a bit of mana though. Yeah, this is 22.5, and this is 360. Let's see if there's anything out here I can cast this on. Alright, there doesn't appear to be anything alive around here actually. If I wait long enough though, that's going to be corrected, and I'm going to be swarmed by the raptors. Yeah, I don't see anything. Alright, so let's go ahead and just give this a second. We should have some stuff starting to pop up. Oh. I heard a kobold. Oh, yeah, there's a hole under here. Oh, there we go. There we go. 7 damage. And I'm totally tapped out. Wow. Let's see. Oh, that's because I was casting it in the full on. Yep, I definitely need to work on getting my... Yeah, that's gonna get me killed. Hello. What was making him get spell effects? Alright, let's go ahead and skip the night away, and I'll join back up with you when I'm ready to look at some of these stuff from Resonant Induction. Alright, hello and welcome back to my now slightly dirty and full basement. This is not what I'm actually going to have down here. I'm just doing this in my little tower basement right now, because I've been running into issues since I've started Ars Magica. Well, it's not so much issues, so much as it is dark mages spawning and trying to kill me. I'll get over that though, once I have found my true potential. But anyway, so what I wanted to do today is I actually wanted to go ahead and show the basic steps of the mechanical age or processing in Resonant Induction. Previously I had set up the grinding wheel over in my little workshop, this thing right here, and we were able to just dump the ore on it to get the rubble, and then dump the rubble back on the grinding wheels to get the dust. That's no longer how it works. The basic way to start this off is kind of just like the archaic age where you would bash it down with a hammer, except we're using a mechanical hammer. So we're going to be using the piston here. This is a mechanical piston. It's relatively easy to make, and it also runs off of just regular energy. Well, torque, whatever you want to call it. And if it can, it will crush the block down into whatever item. So in this case, it's going to crush the iron ore down into iron rubble. If I had put, say, a piece of wood here, it would just push the wood. It wouldn't actually do anything to it. So there we go. And let's go ahead and put the other one going. Now, once you get the iron rubble here, there's only really one thing you can do with it, and that is to run it through a grinder, and you get 2 dusts. It's important to note that, well, let's get a little bit away from that. It's important to note that while we do this, any values of what we get right now, it may not stay the same. More than likely it will change. This is just the basic process you have to go through right now. This is not intent on the actual yields that you get from the process. Alright, so that's done. Right now we're just going to go ahead and process the 1 ore block. So right now we've already doubled our yield. So, because these iron dusts can be smelted into iron ingots. I believe in a later version this iron dust will actually be called impure iron dust, so as to stop any sort of like bad cross-mod interactions. Now when we have this dust, we have a few options that we can do. We can manually wash it in the gutter like we were able to do during the archaic age, or we could set up a contraption using this thing here, which is called a mixer. Normally when you have the mixer set up, you want to have a 3x3 area clear with water in it so that you can process the materials and filter it out. What I'm doing right now is not the intended function, and it will probably not work in future versions. However, for the purposes of making a compact showcase, this works great for me. What we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get some water. This is just a infinite water source. I mean, you have one anyway, but the difference is this actually pushes it into the gutter system. And I lost a bucket somewhere. Hopefully it shows back up. Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put a water bucket in here. Water bucket. Alright, see if we can get another one. Alright, so we get the water in there. It throws through the gutter to the grate, and the grate pushes a source block out to right here. So right now it's not going anywhere because the filter will only let through the water one that's separating it from the dust. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put the iron dust into... Oh, and there's the bucket out of nowhere. Okay. Oh crap. I did not want to do that. Alright, so it's important to note this gutter can actually put water higher than itself. We do not want to let it do that. Alright, now set to not fill higher than self. Good. Okay, let's go get our water again. Alright, so that's good to go. Let's go ahead and... yeah, we'll just leave it like that. So I'm going to take an iron dust, I'm going to throw it right here into the center of the source block. So now normally what would happen is if this little 9x9, if this 3x3 area was clear, you would watch the dust swirl all the way around, and it would keep going until it gets to the point that it was done processing, and then it creates a little slurry right here. And what I have done is I've actually set up a, there we go, where'd it go? There, iron refined dust, we got 2 of those. I set up a little bud down here, so when the water source block goes through, it triggers a block update which causes the piston to extend and destroy it. Normally you maybe not want to do that. You could actually harvest the water coming off of this for a horizontal water turbine for a source of power. So I mean, it's not something that you necessarily just want to get rid of. There are potential uses for it. Let's go ahead and process the other one as well. We'll just go ahead and put that there manually this time, and we'll toss that in. So that is doing its thing. It's not terribly quick, as you can see. Normally what you'd want to do is you'd want to, that was close, you'd want to give this more speed than you give it actual force. And since I'm using the water turbines, I'm actually getting more force than I am speed. Alright, so now we have the 4 iron refined dust. I could actually take this up right now and I could smelt it into the iron ingots, and I'd have 4 ingots from 1 piece of ore. Like I said, I don't think that's intentional. I'm not quite sure how many you're supposed to get from that, but already we're better off than what most mods would get you. There is another step, however. If we come over here, this is a firebox I have set up, and this is a casting mold. The casting mold will take the molten versions of the metal and create ingots from them. We can use the regular firebox that we have here, and Raptor is annoying me. Or we could use the electric one that runs off of electricity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and break off a piece of charcoal, and we're going to put down a single refined iron dust. Iron refined dust. I keep wanting to say refined iron. It's not refined iron. It's iron refined dust. Alright, so we're going to put a charcoal in. This thing heats up, and what's going to happen is this dust is actually going to melt. And when it melts, the way I have this set up, it's actually going to flow into the grate, down into the gutter, and over to the casting table. Well, casting mold. Just like so. And I should see some iron ingots appear in here shortly. Hello, iron ingots, and shortly. Okay, I think I broke something. Seriously? See, it's under there, but it's not flowing. I'm not quite sure why it's not flowing. Normally what it should do is it should attempt to spread throughout the connected things. Let's go ahead and put one more on here. And enjoy a tasty bacon cheeseburger. Oh, it's out of fuel. Alright, so that thing's going. That is not wanting to flow. Well, that's not disturbing. I think there might be something wonky going on with the grate. Because it looks like it's flowing this way, and it should not be flowing that way, it should be flowing this way. Yeah, so let's go ahead and break this. Put that down. Okay, there we go. I wonder if this has any residual stuff from when I was messing around earlier. Alright, so what should happen though is the molten material in here should actually drain down into the casting table, which it's not doing. Holy cow, that's annoying. Alright, there we go. So it just wasn't quite flowing right. I mean, I could be doing something wrong. This may not even be the intended function. Excuse me, I need to kill these things. Oh, it's a baby one! That still hurt. Okay. Okay, so we have quiet now. So what happened is we put the 4 iron refined dust on here, and we just got out 8 ingots. So what we just did all together, that yielded 8 iron ingots from 1 iron ore, which is crazy. Like I said before though, I don't think that's the intended amount. It's definitely still up to change. This mod is in early development, and they've been doing great stuff with it so far. It is, however, this is the basic process that you go through when it comes to processing the materials. The question I have, and the problem I'm going to have working with, is how do I set this up for a factory? I'd like to be able to go mining and at the end of the trip go ahead and put all my ore and stuff into a chest, have it sorted out, have all the iron ore go one place, all the copper another place. I want to crush the copper ore down into rubble. I want to grind the rubble into dust, clean the dust into refined dust, then melt that down, and then cast the final molten metal into ingot form. Now, it might not yield 8 ingots whenever we get around to doing this. This stuff, like I said, this mod's still in heavy development, so any numbers shown could change. But I still think it's a really awesome way for the ore processing just because of how visual it is, and you can see everything as it goes through. The question I have, though, is what kind of factory do you think we should go for this? I mean, if I had my way, I'd have parallel processing. I would do iron in one place, copper another, gold another. It would be extremely redundant and it would be more resource intensive because I couldn't just say, okay, put this in, now put this, and do one process. The reason I'd want to do this though is it won't slow down processing when I have a mix of different metals. So instead of having to do all the gold and then all the copper and then all the iron stuff, we could just do each one independently. It would speed up things greatly, though like I said, it has a cost. Or do you think I should actually try to go ahead and work out the mechanics needed to do everything in one line? Alright, I do need to go check to see how some stuff is going upstairs here, so let's check that out and I'll be right back. Alright, so in prep work for another episode, I have a little building over here that I've not done much with. I just put this up about a few hours ago. I've really not done anything to it. This is my little burger shack. What this is going to be is I'm actually going to go ahead and create a automated system of creating bacon cheeseburgers and 2 other food items. I've yet decided on what they're going to be. Currently, even though this looks like it's got stuff there, this is actually a fake. It's an empty shell of a building. The reason that is, I need to go ahead and I need to redo what I have over here farming. I need to focus more heavily on wheat and soybeans. Plus, I need to, actually figure out the automation process. Today, though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and readjust my crops and stuff, because I have some stuff over here that, while I thought it might be useful, it's completely useless. Come on, get out of here. Alright, let's go ahead and go around. Alright, so what we have here, I have wheat in this row. I definitely want to keep the wheat. Here I have rhubarb. I do not need this stuff. It's not helping me at all. Alright, so what I can do is I'll leave that there. This should be soybeans right here. Yeah, that's good, but we're going to move it. Lettuce, I do in theory need lettuce, but I also need tomatoes. So for now I'm just going to go ahead and leave that there. I think this is peanuts, which are doing me no good. That was zucchini. That was actually doing me some good. I probably should have left that there. Actually, let's see what we've got here. No, we're going to make it 2 rows. We're getting rid of these sunflowers. Alright, and we have rice on the side. Go away. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put down a row of soybeans. Soybean seed. I should have some more soybeans inside here. Zucchini. Ooh, I might have squished all my... Almost. Alright, so we're going to do another row of soybeans right here. These things are pretty much the main staple for my food stores right now, so it actually might not be inappropriate to do 3 rows. As for the lettuce, I'm not really using a lot of this right now, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut this down to a little 2x3 area right over here. Let's go ahead and harvest it first. Alright. And I definitely should increase my wheat production. What I am going to do, though, is I'm actually going to free up these back spaces right here in case I want to do any more, either pumpkins or melons or whatever. Let's go ahead and get that right. And let's do 3 rows of wheat. Alright, so what I have now, I just have this one section right here. So what I'm thinking about making once I get this thing set up, or at least attempting to get produced, is for the foods that we can make for SHADOWCRAFT, there's actually quite a lot of foods. The highest, well, one of the higher tier things I can figure out that we can make is going to be it's basically a burger and fries. There's 2 ways to do it. It's either using potatoes or using zucchini fries. I've yet to find a potato. If I did, I would definitely go for the option to make fries because it's really easy. Bakeware, salt, and potato equals fries. If you then combine that with a deluxe cheeseburger and in a smoothie, you get a delighted meal, which is a feast. It's a happy meal. Though we didn't say that. The other option would be the zucchini, which I can't apparently spell. 2 C's, okay. So the zucchini we can process and we can actually turn into, oh, you make zucchini bread. There it is, zucchini fries, which is zucchini, cheese, toast, and eggs / firm tofu. That is an option, but that would require even more tofu. Though the good news is that this is one soybean would actually produce the soy milk and the firm tofu. So I mean, that's not terrible, but it's the toast that I really wouldn't want to use. So what I'm thinking to do for now is I want to go ahead and I want to have the bacon cheeseburger as a meal option. I want to go with another sandwich of some kind. And I'm thinking, just for the heck of it, I want to go with a leafy chicken sandwich, which is really easy. It's made using chicken, or in this case tofu, which is what I'll be using, bread, and mayo. And mayo is just tofu / eggs with a juicer. So it doubles up on the tofu, but it's an option. I don't think I can actually make the... You know, I'm not sure which one this will make, because this is basically the same recipe. The only thing different that I've noticed looks to be the placement of the... So it's bread, mayo, and this is mayo bread. I think that's the only difference. So one of the two I'll make. And for the very last slot, I think I want to do something with the watermelons, since I have a ton of them, but I'm not doing anything with them at the moment. So let's go ahead and pull up a watermelon. Okay, maybe it's under melon. There we go. I can make melon smoothies and melon jelly. Yeah. So these are literally just watermelons, juicer, snowballs. I just happen to have a snowball farm over there. So I'm thinking definitely that our last item is going to be watermelon smoothies. So let's go ahead and let's break this thing. And plant. That way when these grow, they'll just plop over right here. Alright, let's go ahead and take a quick look at my seed chest to see if there's anything that stands out for the remaining spots. Alright, artichoke, asparagus, beet, bell pepper, broccoli, cabbage, celery, coffee. Coffee? Can you actually make coffee? Ooh. You literally smelt the coffee in a furnace to get a cup of coffee. I was expecting something a little more complicated than that. Wonder if it actually gives you like a speed boost or something. Anyway, cotton, garlic, ginger, leek, lettuce, mustard, oats, onion, scallion, rye. Unfortunately, I do not have tomato. If I had tomato, this would be an easy choice. Sweet potato, tea. And just to make sure I don't have any additional ones. I need to grow this nether wart actually. Alright, let's turn up and pineapple. Onion, onion, onion. Can I do anything with carrots? Carrot juice. Yeah. Carrot cake. Carrot soup. There's actually a lot of stuff with carrots. However, I don't have most of the stuff that would go with it. It's looking like one of the... I think I'd like to do carrot cake, actually. Nah. At a later point, these become useful. So for now, we're just going to plant them. When I get more, I'll just expand it out. Because I believe that you can use the... well, I think you have to use golden carrots to... I think you can use them to breed donkeys, or it's golden apples. I'm not too terribly sure. Either way, I'm going to have enough of each. Alright. So I actually didn't get too terribly much more done after playing with the stuff down here in the basement. I love those hatches. Alright, let's go ahead and get that. So for all the stuff we have down here, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some of this stuff in action in a factory. As I mentioned earlier in the video, if you have any ideas or any suggestions as a type of factory you'd like to see, please go ahead and leave a message at the right down below this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching this episode of SHADOWCRAFT. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a message, and have a good evening.